clicking live there now.
Okay, cool.
All right, I believe we are live right now on Facebook. We're on the Guyanese own business page and the West Indian Vibes radio page. So welcome to everyone. I don't know if anyone is joining yet, but we're just going to continue the conversation. We're going to get to share this to our pages, and I got to thank everyone for tuning in. I know a lot of you are probably going to be watching this after the actual live broadcast. I just shared it to my page from the Guyanese Own Business page, and we're also live on West Indian Vibes radio page. So good evening to everyone that's locked in. It's 7 p.m. Eastern time here in Canada. It's 8 p.m. back home in Guyana. So welcome. And first off, I got to thank you guys for tuning in tonight with me. And I have a special guest with me. Anil Sarwan is joining me from the Great Canadian Oil Change. So, Anil, good night and welcome to the show. If you can start off with a quick introduction of yourself, please.
Well, first of all, Wazim, thank you for having me on your program. I'm very, very privileged to be the one leading off your program, just to be first up. I know it's been years that we've been talking about this venture of you going into and making sure that these Guyanese businesses are recognized within our community. And I want to give you props for. I mean, it's finally here. The day is
Yeah,
finally here that
yeah.
we get a chance to sit down and be on the live and be able to share your idea with the world and our Guyanese community, of course.
Yes,
Well,
Anil, and thanks. Yeah.
yeah, you're very welcome, sir. And first of all, for those who don't know me, I am around. I've been around for a while, as people will know, around the cricket fraternity in terms of the softball. But Anil Sarwan, as known to most, born in the beautiful island of Awakenham, grew up in, and we migrated to Georgetown. When I was 4. My journey started with my parents moving to Kitty, then pursuing my primary school education at Ramakrishna. Then we moved on, do my secondary education, Richard Ishmael Secondary, and then I went on to work at Neelan Master Groups, formerly known as Gettys Grant, and then migrated to Canada in 2001. And yes, the journey began.
Okay, so 2001, you came to Canada. Currently, you're a franchisee of the Great Canadian Oil Change. Why Great Canadian Oil Change, and when did you start it?
Well, Wazim, since I came to the country, it was the first job I had to begin with. And of course, I came to Canada to study. My parents sent me to Canada, and I started to. I mean, it was my way, my opportunity to grow as a young man and come to this country and start my journey in life. So when I came here, I started to do part time with All Changers, as we were formerly known.
Yeah.
Um, and then latter, we've been acquired by Valvoline. I'll come to that later on. But yeah, the journey started 25 years ago. So in a quarter of
25
a
years.
century, I've been in this
So
business.
you're
So
trying to
yeah,
tell me
you call
you're
me
old.
old. You can
You're
call me
old.
old. You can call me old.
All right. So what I know you said you worked there part time, you were employed there. What opportunity you saw that made you like you made that leap into being a franchisee with them?
Well, I think one of the things was, I'll be honest with you, I like the people side of the business, even though I didn't know about cars then. Because coming out from school, I was always the guy who wanted to pursue an
Oh,
accounting degree or designation.
yeah.
And the fact that we had kind of changed, that kind of career line. But what we did is, one of the things that was very important for me, um, is that I love the people side of the business. I love interacting with the folks that came in there. But coming from Guyana, you used to wear a tie in your office, and all of a sudden you got grease on your hands. Your pride went out the windows. Really, really fast. So
Yeah.
that was one of the things that I kind of like, had to overcome, before I could, definitely understand that, in this country we don't have pride. You just go out there
Gotta
and
get it
get
done.
it done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
gotta
get
get
it
it
done.
done.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly, exactly. And so you said you've been doing this for 25 years now.
Yeah, yeah.
And would you go back? You had a fresh start over. You're starting over tomorrow morning. You're getting up. Would you do this all over again, or you
I
would
will.
you
I
will?
certainly will, man. I definitely will. Like, I mean, like
Awesome.
I said, one of the things I look forward to is interacting with the folks that come, and being from different, backgrounds and stuff. You get to learn about people. And
Yeah.
one of the interesting thing about my job is that we definitely can be, you know, we can. Sorry, that was my
Yep.
phone in
Yeah,
the
that's fine.
background. Um, we can definitely learn about people and culture. I mean, I went from eating Korean rice to eating all kind of different ethnicity
Yeah, yeah,
food
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. It just it's definitely a cool experience to have to try different things.
And I'm sure a lot of we've got a few viewers on right now. So good night to everyone locked in. We're gonna get to the comment section a little bit later on. Just want to get some more info out of Anil. I know he's 25 years in the business. He's getting old, so we don't have a lot of time with him. So Anil, I know it's a great Canadian oil change. The first thing that comes to mind is oil change when I think about it, and I'm sure a lot of other folks are thinking the same. You offer a lot more than just oil change. What are the services you offer there at Kennedy Road in Scarborough?
Well, let me kind of brief you for a second here, Wazim. It's just more it's a maintenance service. So
Okay.
when we say oil change, we definitely will do flushes for your transmission,
Okay.
um, air filter, cabin filter, light changes, light bulb changes, those kinds of things. Something that you come in and you spend 10, 15 minutes to get your stuff done,
Yeah.
and you're out the door because we're based on efficiency. I don't want me in personal experience is that I've always been to like the dealership, even with my car, and to sit at the dealership for an express oil change, and it takes me 4 hours to get an express oil change done.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, for who don't value their time, it's ridiculous, man. So
Yes.
I've always pride myself on efficiency, and I came into the business, and that was one of the models that I really love about the business. Till it make me become a bad person because now when I go to places,
You
my
expect the same.
expectation is like I want to get things done in a certain time,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So
Okay. And you flushes, you do transmission stuff. I know you oil filter. I've been there for oil change. I've got a battery from you actually in my
yeah,
vehicle. It's from your location last year. What
I
other
hope you I hope you paid for it, by the way.
I don't know, maybe what is it called? The trust system?
Yeah,
We will take you back to wake it up. We're gonna go
yeah.
with the trust system. But what other services I could get there? We show up with a car. What other on the menu?
So like I said, we usually do all the regular maintenance stuff.
Okay.
Your air filter, cabin filter, engine flushes, all transmission flushes. We can top up all your fluids.
Yeah.
And we just got into the tire business. I know one of the big
Mm.
things now we got into the tire business. Prior to the tire business, we were number one for emission in Scarborough.
Really?
A lot of people
Congrats.
didn't know
Yeah.
that, but yeah,
Yeah.
thanks. We were the number one store in Ontario. We
Oh.
even we even kind of outlast the
That's
our
amazing. Wait,
competition.
I don't want to cut you, but for a Guyanese person, the owner of a business to be number one in Ontario, millions of people and
Well, I wouldn't
thousands of
say
stores,
I
but
would say the
that's
Scarborough area as opposed to Ontario because there was more stores, but
yeah,
we're
but
definitely number one
that's
and in
impressive, man.
running. Yeah,
Congrats. You need
thanks, bud.
you need some congratulations on that one.
Yeah, so we
That's
were,
pretty good.
I mean, at that time we were doing like 80, 90 cars a day. I
Oh
mean, the good
wow.
days we were doing like
Pretty busy.
140 cars on a two-bay
Whew.
store. And the
Yeah.
emission test was what we were prevalent and known for the emission tests.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it kept us busy. I can remember the days, even when we had like Christmas season. I
Yeah.
can remember all I did was like drive car around the Bay all day.
Oh yeah.
But it was something fun because you look forward to your day finishing fast instead of sitting down and trying to do paperwork.
And you mentioned you driving cars around. Like I've been to your location a lot of times, and
Mhm.
you're the one. You're out there. You're driving cars. I know you have your employees there, and I must add to the viewers out there, if you've never been to 1303 Kennedy Road in Scarborough, not far in from Kennedy and Lawrence, you got to check him out. The customer service is top notch. That's why Anil is the first guest here on this segment. Top notch.
Thank you,
And
Razim.
yeah,
Thank you for
no
recognizing that.
problem.
Yes,
You got
means a
to
lot.
recognize it, especially from our community, right? We need more of that, and showing up to Guyanese own business. A lot of us have negative experiences in the past, and come into that now and experiencing it. I'm telling everyone, hey, you got to
Mhm.
check out. You got an oil change in the wintertime. I know in Canada here, for those of you that are in Guyana, in Canada we don't want to do oil changes outside. Not only are we gonna freeze, it's not gonna happen. But
Mind you,
yeah.
people still mind you, people still do it and come and ask you to dispose
Oh,
the
really?
yeah, they still do. They just
You can't stop some things, right?
yeah,
So you
yes, of
mentioned
course.
tire changes briefly, but I know that's I didn't expect that I would be able to go to the Great Canadian Oil Change and get my tire changed, like winter swap, summer tire
Yeah,
swap. Yeah.
yeah, just to let you know, so we
Uh-huh.
do sell tires as well.
Oh, okay.
We do service the tires, so we do on rims and off rim tires, for your seasonal changes. we
Okay.
do rotation because most of the cars now, as you know, um, it's recommended that you have your tires rotated every 6 months, especially if you have a new vehicle. For example, if you buy a Honda Civic, it will tell you on your dash, your computer would indicate to you every 6 months your tires or every 8,000 kilometers need to be rotated. And with the
Okay.
tires being rotated in that period, it extends the life of your tire as well. And then
Yeah.
also you don't have to go spending money on tires frequently,
True. Never think about
right?
it that way. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but and that's how industry wants you to do it, right?
Okay. And
And
yeah.
and for most guys that don't know, you're also saving 20% on your insurance when you use winter tires as opposed to just use the same tires all season.
Yeah, I found that out a few years ago when it just came into effect in
Yeah.
Ontario, I think. I'm not sure of the entire Canada, but I know in Ontario for sure.
So it's a
Right?
pretty cool saving that you
Yeah.
can get 20% off your insurance. And guess what? The number one thing that we want to talk about is safety, man. That's imperative to, having your family in the
Yeah.
vehicle and driving from places to places. You want to make sure that those people are protected,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially
Oh,
you at
for
the
sure.
wheel. You want to make sure that you have the best tires, or your car is always in shape. I always tell guys
Yeah.
in Canada, it's never a luxury to have a vehicle. It's a necessity to have a car in Canada.
Oh,
It doesn't
especially.
matter
Yeah,
what
you're
car you
right there.
have, man. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what you drive.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, um, your car is priority for you. You need to get those things.
100%. I agree with you there on that for sure. You mentioned just now about peak time, you're about 140 cars coming through the shop. I know we all got affected, especially businesses, with the
Mhm.
pandemic a few years ago. How did that affect your business? Are you fully recovered from it, or you're still seeing some after effects of it? Is it still
The
lingering around?
pandemic to talk about the pandemic itself and to be
Yeah.
alive, I mean, that in itself
Yeah,
is a
that's true.
blessing, honestly,
That
man.
is
Like
true, man.
it,
Yeah.
it definitely changed the way and the perspective people think.
Yeah.
Um, and not only that, everybody's, I mean, we set aside business for life itself.
Hmm.
It put us on that back burner to say,
Yeah.
hey man, what is really important to us in life? And even though I'm in business, I'm telling you, um, from a humane perspective, you have to think about life as just surviving beyond worrying about your next meal or whatever it was. Like I seen young people died, and that was some scary stuff,
Yeah.
man. Like
Yeah.
I see
Yeah. Yeah.
people dying, just because of the virus,
Hmm.
and just to come out of that and be able to bounce back. We're not 100% to where we were pre-COVID, but we're
Yes.
definitely getting there, man.
You're
I'm,
getting
I'm
it.
telling
Yeah.
you, the numbers are starting to come back up, and we're working towards making sure that we're not, if we're not back to the pre-COVID numbers,
Yeah.
we're definitely just behind it.
You recovered a bit,
Yeah,
like
not
still
nicely.
recovering, still on that
Yeah, we're
road
still
of
we're still
recovery to pre-COVID
I mean,
numbers.
mind you, if I will say this to you, a lot of people are still hybriding from home.
Hmm.
Personally, my wife, she does 2 weeks. She just goes to the office 2 weeks.
I'm one of them. I've
For
been
the
working from home
two
a
times a
lot
week.
more since pandemic, so
Yeah, I mean, in a way, it's a
yeah,
blessing,
yeah,
but
yeah.
in a way as well, it's also a curse for, I mean, a business like myself,
Of course.
because you went from driving to 100% to driving 40%. If you do 2 days by,
Hmm.
two days for a week compared to 5 days a week, it's 40% of your driving
That
for
will
the week.
equivalent to
It's
less
sort
oil
of
changes in a year or so. You're gonna
definitely,
see less
definitely, and
cars through
people,
those doors. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and the economy is not the way it was, so it's definitely one of those things that people can save money on
Hmm.
and extend the life of the oil change or whatever it is to make it
Yeah.
to kind of push that extra the change in their pockets.
Okay, and as we continue, got to say goodnight to everyone that's joining us. I see a few more that's just logged into both Guyanese own business page and the West Indian Vibes page. I'll get to your questions if you have any at the end. We'll keep about a 5-10 minutes period there to answer, and Anil can answer anything about cars and anything about the Guyanese community. But since it's a Guyanese owned business page that we're trying to promote all of our businesses, you being one of them, how is the support from our community here in Toronto?
I honestly wasn't our business is not really I wouldn't say, I don't want to use the word gear,
Yeah.
but we don't have that support system in terms of Guyanese, and I would love more of the Guyanese people to, I mean, I get excited to interact with my own Guyanese people. Like I
Of
met
course,
a
me too.
uh,
Yes.
long story short, I met a girl a couple weeks ago, and her grandparents are from Georgetown,
Ah,
and she was born here. And she was so excited, like, oh my God, because I see her flying the Guyana flag inside her car.
yeah.
I'm like, there's no way you're Guyanese. She's like, yeah. I am. And I'm like, no, you can't be Guyanese. She's like, well, I'm not Guyanese, but I said, at least you're patriotic for your grandparents.
You were flying the flag, yeah.
Yeah, no, and I was proud to see that. And we had conversation, and she was telling me, man,
Good.
she's so into the food, and she can't wait to go to visit Guyana and stuff like so. So it's one of those things you kind of look forward for seeing people, that come into your place, and you're always proud to say you're from Guyana.
Yeah, but what do you think we can do more as a community? I know before you answer that, we're in Toronto. We're one of the most multicultural societies in the world.
Correct.
Cities, all the
Correct.
big cities in the world. We have people from all over the world. You can think about. We have living next door. We're living next door to everyone. And I
Mhm,
notice in communities like I'm gonna give example because I'm in the Toronto area, Sri Lankan community and Punjabis community. They're
mhm,
very tight knit communities. They have each other backs, and I just hosted a program for Remax community, one of their Christmas party there, and I saw that evident, the
mhm,
Chinese community.
mhm,
I think I'm a strong believer of that's why I opened up this page, Guyanese own business page in 2018, and I think we spoke about it and said
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
want to get away from the radio station stuff and try to do stuff in the community and help out, and it's all free of cost. If you're looking, if you want your business highlighted, you want to jump on the program with us, just reach out to me. You have the info on the page, but we need that more. We need more cooperation amongst our people. What do you think? That's for the what I'm seeing. I'm not a business. I'm not out there in the Guyanese in the community dealing with people daily like that. But what do you see? I want an honest answer from you. I want to
Uh,
see our community
I think
together,
you're
man.
spot on. I think you're spot on. I think I mean we had a conversation a couple days ago
Yeah.
when I tell you like one of the West Indian stores. Like I personally go to that West Indian store and I
Yes.
support the store. And those
Yes.
guys they bring their vehicle. I guess in a way they reciprocate
Right.
whatever it is, in terms of sharing. And I'm glad to always say, hey man, I service that guy car, and whenever I'm there, the guys know me personally.
Yes.
I'm able to get that extra, service to
Hmm.
feel like I'm special to those guys. But we
Yes.
all connect on the same level. The one thing I always say, and I have a friend that I always tell, I'm so impressed with the Tamil community, the Sri Lankan.
Hmm.
They you can go from getting a mortgage with one of those guys to buying a house to getting a new car, and it's all within the community. There, you don't have to go and see anything outside. And guess
Yes.
what? And they are able to speak their language to each other and communicate in a way that, yeah, I'll take care of you. I
Hmm.
remember the neighbor, he sold his house and he was Greek, and he's
Oh.
like, man, I get like 40 Tamil people came in and look at my house, and we got the best offer possible. That's because these guys, the community was supporting them. They never went to the bank and get a loan. I mean,
Yes.
I don't know all the insights to it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. No, I get what you're
definitely
saying.
the
Yeah.
support system is there. Like, I mean, they're on it every time,
We need
especially in the
that. We
community.
need. We need to
Oh, we
have that.
definitely do. We definitely
We're
do.
struggling with that, especially in the Toronto area. In
Mhm,
New York, I know I go to New York a lot. I got a lot of
mhm,
friends over there and family. We need that that connection amongst each other, especially
mhm,
we're leaving our homeland. We're leaving Guyana, coming away. Now we're living out. We need to help each other out, and I like what you're doing. Since I'm on that topic, I know you do a lot in the community. You help out a lot. Every charity events. I'm gonna get into like the sponsoring of cricket teams here in Toronto. Our radio station, you've sponsored a lot of giveaways. You always involved. You pick up the phone, call me. Hey, I can help you out. I can give these prizes away. I can do some door prizes. Also, we gotta mention Prabhu Sharon Orphanage in Guyana. You're a big
very,
supporter. You're close to that. That's close to your heart. So you
very,
want to
very
talk a
close
little
to my
bit
heart.
about
Yeah,
that?
very, very close to my heart. A good friend of mine, Jai, as you guys all know,
Yes.
his parents was they are the founder of Prabhu Sharan.
Hmm.
Honestly, and my experiences going there, like I understand that giving back to community, but that
Yeah.
melts my heart to see the kids, man. Like
Oh
I
man.
really, even though I'm not looking forward for for something back from the community,
No,
that's
no,
one of
no.
the
I had to
places
bring that
the
up. Sorry if I put you on the
no,
spot
no,
with that. I got to bring that
no,
up
no.
because
You
I
make me
admire
emotional
you.
when you do. You do
And
make me emotional when you
you
do,
know,
man. Like,
we got a few of the guys that we hang out with, and we go and support each other business and stuff like that, and everyone helps out.
correct.
And you of all, you're always there. You're always picking up the phone, call, and message, and say, hey man, I want to get involved in this. The other night I was at one of the cricket events. You weren't around. I think you were out of the country. And
Mhm,
they announced your name. They gave me and said, "Hey, analyst." I was like, "Analyst sponsoring this,
mhm.
right?" You weren't around. You
I
sent
just hope you didn't win the stuff wasn't because you already win
I
the stuff.
tried, I
Yeah.
tried. I was putting it in my pocket. I was on stage. I got caught. I'm like, ah. But no, man, I gotta kudos to that and congrats, and keep up the good work, man. I
Thank you,
love to
brother. Thank you.
see
Thank you.
people
Means a
in our
lot.
community that's doing that and bringing people together and helping, and that's the most important part, right? Helping each other out.
Well, like I said, I don't really look forward to. I mean, I would love for people to support me in terms of
Hmm.
business, but it's not something I want to make sure our community is growing and growing together as a
Yes.
people, right? Like I'm always proud to say I'm Guyanese, and I always like I think someone got really mad with me a couple days ago. We went for dinner. We were in the States, and the ladies trying to tell me I'm from India, and I'm like, no, I'm from Guyana. And she's like, no, but you're Indian. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm Guyanese. So I
Yeah,
had to
yeah,
kind of like to peg it back a little bit. But no, I'm really proud of where I'm from, and I
yeah.
would
We should
love to
be.
see our
We
people
all
shine.
should be. Everyone out there should be proud of where you're from.
Yeah, and we
From a
have a lot
beautiful
of
country.
influential people in our community.
Yes.
It's taken for granted, but there's a lot of people in our community that needs to be put, on
Hmm.
a pedestal, and even not a pedestal, but to be recognized
I
within
know,
our
yeah,
community.
some
You know?
recognition. As I
Yeah.
said, we're lacking that part. That's one thing in our community, especially here in Toronto. We've been living in Toronto. We both came around the same time. I'm over here over 25 years. You're about the same. We've seen that, and other communities I mentioned just now. I think Paul Ratness. Good night to you, sir. He's Sri Lankan. I know him personally. He's watching in the Sri Lankan community you mentioned, the Tamil community. They work together. The
Maybe we can
Punjabis.
get Paul to give us some link up.
Yeah, some of that inside link because you mentioned with the mortgages.
Yeah. No, for
But
sure, man.
yeah,
But
yeah,
they're a strong community. I mean, the Chinese as well, man. Like,
yes,
I always joke about one day you'll see a Chinese guy riding a bicycle, and not to be racist or anything,
yeah,
and the next day you see the man driving a Lexus. That's
hmm,
because they're able to support each other in a sense.
yes.
And I would love to see our community, kind of prevail in
Let's
that
hope.
that,
Let's
that
hope
sense. Yeah.
it's a step towards that with this little thing that we've started. And
Mhm.
our page, it's been around since 2018. So we've got to say good night to all the business owners and everyone else watching in on Facebook with us. This is a little platform. We're gonna expand as we grow. It's just the first one, so we didn't expect much and a lot of following. So hopefully you guys lock in and let's bring our community. It doesn't matter if you're in Toronto, you're in New York, you're in England, you're in Guyana, Trinidad, wherever you are. Let's work together and make this a success.
Yeah,
Let's
no, for
we're
sure,
Guyanese. So our
100%.
country is growing. We should grow. We're living outside of the country. Let's grow as one.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
our country. Look at the the improvements is happening over there, and I know a lot of folks are going back and they're doing business and they're starting over their lives again in Guyana from
Mhm.
migrating. But we want to do that here. We're living here. We chose to live here. We have our families here, and that's why I'd like to see more and more businesses be part of this. Come on, like Arnold explain to the community what you do, services, and you know what? It's free of charge. That's the most important thing. We're not here to charge anyone for anything. So at any point in time, just message me on the page directly. We'll post your information if you want to come on, have a chat. It's open. And Anil, I know we've. Is there something I've missed from the business? Is something you want to let the community know, the public know about your business that
No,
I
we like
may have missed?
was we like to keep it as simple as possible. Like I said, we
Okay.
do anything that's efficient and can get you back. Make sure that your car is running 100%. We're
Yes.
not into mechanical, deep mechanical, but we're gonna venture into the brake hopefully soon.
Okay.
But we will have to get a certified. Like I've said, it's imperative that we have safety first.
Yes.
And one of the things that we push on, I mean, we pride ourselves not only on the safety, but I mean, I'm a big guy when it comes to hiring.
Mm.
That we do not like we hire personality as opposed to someone who can do the work and we
I can
train them.
attest to that. I've
Yeah,
been
yeah,
there. I've experienced it firsthand. Your manager, the guys there, they're very personable, very friendly, and that's what you need. You're in a customer service environment. You got to
yeah.
be a people's person, all right?
Yeah, so we try to make sure
That's
that the guys who we're who hiring has personality and they're able to blend with our system.
hmm
I always tell the guys, man, you're here at least 80% of the time because most of the time when you're home you're sleeping. So let's become a family, let's be one, and we're able to move forward and be on one page. If some you're disgruntled about something, let me know. We
yes,
can work through that. But if I'm not able to I mean I'm not good at reading mind to begin with.
yeah,
So
no,
it's like it's something that you can definitely work on somebody. And you know what? So far I'm grateful that we're able to hire quality people. I mean,
okay,
not a
that's
lot
good.
of people stick around. In hindsight, right now, I probably have about 4 or 5 guys that are engineer.
Really,
That's
yeah, you
working with
mentioned that to me the
me.
last time I was there changing oil. You did point that out to me.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it just show you or to attest to your story that these guys are comfortable working and it's an environment that makes them stay there
I
and
gotta
and,
give you
and want to be
credit
there.
for that. You're from what I've seen. I don't want this to get to your head, but you're a great boss. I should delete this in the video because he's gonna call me tomorrow. You remember what you said on the?
I
Well,
got
no, man,
I
but
got to be one up on you. No,
yeah,
thank
yeah,
you,
yeah.
Watson.
No, no, no. I know
I,
you. We
by the
gotta
way,
give credit where it's due, man. It's
by the way, I get peeved when people call me boss. I like to be a part of the team. I
yeah,
always,
yeah,
I
yeah,
have a
yeah,
friend that usually call me boss just to make me angry.
yeah, yeah.
So I think being part of the team makes it easier for everyone. You have camaraderie among yourselves, and you're able to be engaged with the staff
Of course, yeah.
and have conversation with them on a personal level that you will never know. Like I said, we all come from different walks of life, and when you hear the story of people, when you think you had a hard life, and to hear guys come and tell you how the sacrifice to get there. Of course,
Hmm.
everyone has a story,
Oh yes.
but it pulls at your heartstring a lot of times.
Oh yes, yes, yeah. You're
Yeah.
you're you're a leader. You're not a boss. So I'm gonna address you as a leader, and
Okay,
that's what
that's
that's what
better.
good leaders do, right?
That's
You
better.
keep
That's
your
better.
retention rate is very high at the shop, so you
Yeah.
keep the guys around.
Yeah, we
Uh,
keep them. We keep them around.
so we touched on briefly. Is there anything you think that someone like myself or others that are on social media with these pages that we can do more to bring our community or together? And that's my goal. I want to help out. I want us to have each other's back, like we said. The other nationalities we mentioned earlier,
Mhm.
the Chinese, the Sri Lankans, the Indians, they work together in Toronto really well. They work close. They're happy for each other's success, right? They celebrate their
Mhm.
their
Oh yeah.
competitor success, right? And
Mhm.
that's what we want to see. That's what I want to be brought over into our community. I don't want us to be looking, oh, he's got that. Now he's opening that. I need to do that. One up on
Yeah.
him. We don't
Yeah.
want that. We want to work together to see each other succeed in life and do better,
Mhm.
right? So is there something you'd like to mention to the public before?
Well, I would say was I'm not only supporting someone's business financially, but
Yeah,
able to recommend them from a perspective like for me personally, I don't use a lot of people's shops. Like I mean,
yeah,
there's a friend of mine that has a muffler shop, but I don't go to fix my muffler at his place. But
yeah,
I certainly let people know, hey man, like go to the guy, he can take care
yeah,
of you.
yeah,
And we've been doing referrals for the last little while. I mean, for yourself, I know a lot of people have cars and will
yes,
not be able to change the oil at my place, but they definitely can say, hey man, like
yeah,
Arnold's on Kennedy Road, or I'm gonna point out a business that really stands out within the community, and that's the Norman Sue Bakery.
Actually,
Um,
speaking about Norman Sue, before you go on, I have Kim Sue from Norman Sue Bakery on the last Tuesday of this month. So you guys got to tune in and listen to her. Go
Yeah,
ahead. Sorry, I just had to plug
she's
that
been a
in.
big part of the diaspora here that give back to the community,
Yeah.
and she's the one of the person I've learned a lot from in
Mm,
terms of you know in terms of getting involved in our community. And
yeah.
I've always give her props for that. Like I've said to her, I say you're one of the people that I admire in the community to make sure you put that extra effort to make sure everything is part of that
Yeah.
Guyanese
Okay.
community.
Good. Nice. Yeah, yeah. Kim will be with us, and yeah, we're coming up to what 35 minutes after your 7 o'clock. 36. It's 36 minutes after 8 in Guyana. So once again, welcome. I've got two pages open: the Guyanese own business page and West Indian Vibes radio page. You guys have any quick questions for Anil before we let him go? Just shoot it. What? Okay, so quickly before we look at the chat, what's the difference? There's regular oil change, synthetic oil change. I'm sure you get a lot of those questions when someone just rolls up to them and say, "Hey, I need an oil change, but should I take a synthetic? Should I have a regular oil change?"
Well, to your point, Wazim, most of the newer cars now, because of fuel efficiency,
Yeah.
they're using synthetic oil,
Okay.
and they're using a thinner grade of synthetic oil. So we're down to actually we're all the way down to 0.8 synthetic. We went from being 1030,
Yeah.
530, 520, um, 020, 016. We're down to 0.8 now. So if you
Oh,
have a
okay.
newer car, chances are you probably would need require synthetic, but it's not mandatory. But a
Okay.
lot of the newer cars, just because of fuel efficiency and having the engine work less, as opposed to having a regular oil that in the
Yeah.
car that would cause the car to work a little bit harder and takes a little bit longer to heat up in the summer.
Eh,
A lot of people don't understand about cars. We live in a country that has severe driving conditions,
mhm.
and a lot of people will think, oh yeah, I do things like this back home, or I can use 1030 oil because the car is older. But in retrospect, that's not the way things work. It's like, I mean, I'm not a mechanic per se, but based on the people who manufacture the car, and I'm talking to the engineers.
Yeah.
um I've gone to a lot of, like, I've approached a lot of conferences whereby people are talking about, the engineers are there, and you're able to learn a bit about the cars, right? So it gives you a little bit of a knowledge as to why you use what you use in the vehicle, and what's good for your car and what's not good for your car.
It.
And to your point there, sorry, just not to
Yeah.
cut
Go
you there,
ahead.
Wasm.
Go ahead.
It's in your manual as well. It'll tell you what is preferred in your vehicle, and that's the safest way to go about. And our program is designed to make sure we're working on your car as per specs. As you know, your vehicle you come in,
Yeah.
and obviously you don't know exactly what's going in your car, and I can tell you exactly what you need to use in your car,
Exactly.
and you can see our program. And we're also linked to your dealership, so our service is warranty approved. So even if you have a new car and you like me personally, I don't want to go and sit down in the dealership for 4 hours. I would definitely do my own oil change as long as I have my invoice. I'm able to have my warranty approved. You know,
Okay.
so and that's one of the things that we do not to.
Okay. I got a quick question from Ted Jaipal. Good night to Ted and Lorraine out in Ajax. What's the difference between the grades of synthetic oil? You just mentioned a little bit of it. Ted would like to know the difference between the grades of the various synthetics.
Well, again, it comes down to thickness and the weight of the oil. Again, I mean, this is a topic that we can go back and forth on,
Hmm.
but again, it's one of those things that the grades are depending on the weight of the oil. As
Okay.
you as the so the ten, like say we said, for example, if you have 10W30, 10 is the weight of the oil. So as that weight decreases, the thinner the oil gets. And the car manufacturer now with a thinner oil, so you obviously we're in the world of saving fuel,
Yeah.
in the time of saving fuel. So we want to make sure the newer cars are coming with a thinner and thinner oil, so the car is working. It don't have to work as hard. The engine don't have to work as hard as it was before.
Okay. And does tell me something. Does the extreme cold that we experience in Canada has something to do with the like your choice of oil that you're gonna put in your car?
Well, and I mean, again, back to the manufacturers. These guys have
Okay.
done so much work in making sure that they engineer the proper oil to use in your vehicle.
Okay.
That you can sit there and you can argue all you want, but
Yeah.
I'm not a mechanic personally. But I definitely will take the advice of the engineer as opposed to the mechanic. I'm not knocking anyone, by the way,
No. No. Of
because
course.
I've always found out that if those people spend years of research and development to get to this point, who am I to go say, put something else in the car? Those guys have spent millions or if not billions of dollars to get to that point, to engineer, the oil to be to specific to your car,
Yeah.
right?
Okay, so Ted, hopefully that answered your question. Thanks, Arnold, for addressing that. You're busy. I know you're very busy. How you manage your? I know you're a family man. Been home to you the other night at your place. You got two couple of kids, beautiful kids, and your wife Sammy. Good night to you. How do you manage that life, work life? You're extremely busy in the winter time, right? Is that your busiest peak? Is that your peak time? Starting of winter?
Yes,
With
we go into the tire season in winter, so
okay,
maybe in the end of October, all the way
October.
until I would say mid January.
Okay,
January. So
yeah.
that's one of the times that we're always busy because people are obviously trying to gear up their car. Don't want to be stuck on the road in the winter,
Yeah.
and they want to make sure that their car is well taken care of. So yes, it's
Okay.
one of the busier periods.
How you manage that with your family life? You're a family man. You just came back from a trip with the family. How do you manage that? It must be tough.
Uh, no, I wouldn't say that.
Oh,
I say
really?
we all have to take our time to we kind of schedule our time to make sure that everyone has that. I think years ago I would tell you differently.
Yeah.
I always focus on work as opposed to family, but
Yeah.
now it's more. I mean, and
Yeah.
and, and we went back to COVID. I'm so
Yeah.
blessed, Wazim, to be. So I mean, first of all, I gotta tell you, my parents are, um, I'm a big believer that they are one that kind of, streamlined me to the person I am today.
Yeah.
They've shown me so much love. They've guided us in such a way. Me and my two other siblings, but they've
Yes.
always taught us to work hard and not to forget where you come from as a person.
Great
um,
advice.
as a son, and that's just a chapter as a son, as a husband. I'm blessed to have a wife that is always there for me. I mean, this year, Savi just end up having, finishing our masters after
Congrats to
having the two
Savvy.
kids,
Yeah,
took a
well
break from
done.
school,
Yeah,
then went back, finished our masters. So I'm super proud of her for that. And then we
nice.
have our two kids, our two beautiful kids, Samira and Koval.
Yeah,
We try to spend as much time with them as
nice.
possible because, I mean, in the next couple of years, they're grown ups and,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
probably got to make an appointment to see them. But yeah, we try to maximize our time with them as possible.
Good, good to hear.
You know,
And yeah, thanks, Ted, for your you said great explanation. Thanks, Anil.
thank
Yeah,
you, bud.
we've coming up to what 43 minutes into the conversation. We're just a minute or two late to the start. So just before we go, I don't see anything else coming in from the chats or so on. But thank you everyone for tuning in. You remember this is gonna stay on the page. You guys can rewatch it. Contact Anil. I have the information on there. But Anil, you want to give them your address, how to get in touch with you, check out the website. Just go ahead.
Yeah, so we're located on Kennedy Road, 1303 Kennedy Road. That is south of Ellesmere on Kennedy. And most people will know it for Great Big Al's, which is the pet store next door for those who have pets, and or the computer store, which is Canada Computers, which is across the street.
Okay.
And some of them will know it for the cheapest gas in Scarborough,
The gas
on
bar.
the gas bar. So it's the cheapest gas in Scarborough. So a lot of people will know it for that. But yeah, we're located right on the northern side of that building. And you
Okay.
can't miss us. I think we have one of the best 3D signs on Kennedy Road.
You
It's
do?
something that you can't miss, right? So, yeah, check us out. We'll be happy to see you guys come in and do. I wasn't to just before we finish. I had a lot of people from your radio station that came in
Oh,
and
nice.
supported me. I can off the top of my head, I can Krishna. I think it's Krishna Singh.
Krishna, yeah.
Yeah, so Krishna's come in and he's like, yeah, I've been there and I've never met this guy. I know, and I'm like, yeah, yeah, let me get him. Standing. I'm joking, man. I'm right here. So yeah, we kind of it was good to see him bring him his vehicle,
That's
his
good.
wife's car, and also his daughter's car.
Oh,
And
okay.
I mean, they're supporting us 100%, and
Okay.
I guess that's them from you guys, kind of advertising us and recommending us to those guys. So
Sweet.
yeah,
No, I'm
thank you again
happy.
for that.
Whatever little we can do, and this is going out to the other guys on the radio stations. I know we got a lot of DJs in Toronto. They have live shows. I did it for a number of years on Radio Ghana, and then we opened up West Indian Vibes Radio. We got to promote our businesses, and it doesn't take anything from us. Just mention their
Yeah.
names. Like Krishna went in with his daughter. I know a few others. He reached out to me.
Mhm.
Just before we go, Miss Lolita, good night to you, Lolita. She said the winter tire discount in Ontario is 5% with your insurance company, so that's good. That's good
Yep.
advice there. So
That's a good
it's an
that's a good point.
incentive to get your winter tires done at Great Canadian Oil Change.
Hey man, I
So
always said, other than the discount, your safety for your family is imperative
of
to you
course,
being on the road, man. Like, it's
yeah,
number one, is the number one thing for us to make sure
yes,
your family is taken care of. Like, I would always, make sure that my car has winter tires, and I would advise anyone to do it as well. I'm
oh,
not saying necessarily come to us to buy it, but just definitely make sure you're
I'm
safe when
telling
you
you,
have
go
your
to him.
family.
I'm telling you, go to him. That's why I'm doing this show. I want you guys to go to him,
Oh, thank you,
support
Wazim.
it,
Thank you for.
support our community members, man. We need our Guyanese to pull together. As Ted, I believe earlier mentioned, you were talking. He said, let's leave our baggage behind,
Oh,
right?
definitely,
Let's
man.
let's
We've,
leave it
we've come
behind.
here.
Whatever baggage you have, you come here, a fresh start.
Mhm.
We're in someone else's country. We're living together. Let's pull together and help out. I see Rishi Singh is on the check-in. Rishi's out of Remax. I'll be speaking to Rishi next week Tuesday. So good night to you, Rishi. So tune in for all your real estate advice and insights and all that from Rishi Singh next Tuesday night. Anil, did you mention your phone number there? Sorry, I don't know if I missed
No, I
it.
did not. It's
Okay.
416 757 And of course, a lot of people know me through Facebook. Whoever's on Facebook with me, or
Yes.
link to your page as well, the Guyana business page.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. You can hit me up on Messenger or whatever it is, and we can. I mean, anything you guys need, even if it doesn't have to do with me in terms of getting your car service at my place. If it's something that you need help with, um, I'm definitely there to help you guys. I mean, a lot of people call me about to ask me, do you have a recommendation for something? And I'm more than happy to assist
Okay.
in that
On
way.
on a lighter note, you say a lot of people call you and ask you for something. Has anyone ever asked, "Hey, are you related to Sarwan from Guyana?"
Don't start this was him. You don't have to go into that. Yes, yes, I do. I
Yeah,
am. He's my first cousin.
he's a
That,
talented one, right? Yeah.
yes, I'm the made in China one, as they
Oh,
would
okay,
say.
okay. I just want to get that out there. But man,
Yes.
I really appreciate your time, Anil. Thank you so much. I know as soon as I mentioned this to you, we spoke about this a couple years ago,
Hmm.
and because of work and my busy schedule, I didn't get a chance to start this, but we had the page
Hmm.
going. But to see it come through tonight and for people to view it and to watch and spend some time with us, thank you very much for taking time of your night, whether you're in Guyana, here in Canada, New York, wherever you're at in the world. Good night to you. And I know I really appreciate you, brother, coming on this and let us get this kick started like this.
Well, Wazim, thank you for having me lead off your program, man. It means a lot to me. Like I said, it's been, like you said, it's been years in the making.
Yes,
For
yes,
us to finally sit here and have a conversation.
it's
Hopefully,
nice.
I wish you nothing but success with this program.
Appreciate it, brother.
Let
Thank
me
you.
know if there's anything or any one of the viewers need assistance with anything. I'm
Yes.
always willing to be here to lend a helping hand to our community.
All right. Thank you,
And
Anil.
yeah, and not just our community, West Indian community abroad.
Yes.
We definitely have a lot of Trini people in our community
Oh,
as well
yes. Yes.
that supports us as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Oh yeah, well said. And yeah, thank you for the viewers, everyone on both pages, Guyanese's own business page and the West Indian Vibes radio page. It's so many names I see popping up. So good night to you guys, and thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, every Tuesday night we're going to be doing this at 7 p.m. So 7 p.m. Eastern time or 8 p.m. if you're in Guyana or Trinidad. So please do ensure that you tune in next week Tuesday night. I just brought up Rishi Singh. He's a friend of ours too. He's from Remax. He'll be on the program next week. He is from Remax Realty, so real estate. So we're going to be talking from changing oil and getting your tires and your car service to getting into a home or getting into another home. So really appreciate that. And Anil, once again, any
Can we
last
ask?
words before we go?
Before you go, can we ask what's on the menu next week?
Oh yeah, yeah, we got to bring that up because Rishi might have something cooking it. He loves to eat.
Yeah,
We
looking
just
forward
got
to
to
seeing
say
the
that.
show. Looking forward to seeing your show next week, man.
Yes,
There's a lot
brother.
of question I have for that man. Like you can't ask him personally, so I want to make sure I put him in the
Okay,
spot.
good. Yeah, yeah. Make sure you log in and for same for you guys out there, please log in and question. Remember, this is a forum to highlight and promote our fellow Guyanese owned businesses. So I appreciate each and every one of you tuning in and spending the last 50 minutes, nearly an hour with us. So as I said, next week we have Rishi Singh from Remax. The following Tuesday, which will be, let me see if I'm good with my math, the 21st, I believe, we have Wasim Khan and Cindy Khan from Guyana. They have two businesses in Charlestown and Georgetown, Naked Hangers and Genie Solutions. We're going to be speaking to them next in a couple of Tuesdays, and then the final Tuesday of the month, it's Miss Kim Singh from Norman Sue
Team
Bakery.
soup,
That
team soup.
Kim Sue,
Yeah, yeah.
sorry. I just said Rishi Singh and I'm putting everybody a sing now. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. Anil,
Uh,
any last words before you go?
no, again, I wish you nothing but success, Wazim, on the
Thank you,
program,
brother.
and thanks for everyone who's locked in. Wishing you guys a safe and happy winter season. A lot of people don't like the weather, but we have to
Yeah.
cope with it as it is.
And Happy New Year.
Be
I
safe out
forgot.
there. Oh,
My
say
bad.
yeah, happy New Year's to everyone
Yeah,
as
I
well.
just realized we
Locked
just
on.
started 2025. It's been a long 7 days.
It's funny. It's funny you said that. I was going through my WhatsApp today and I realized a couple of people that messaged me Happy New Year's and I took a couple what 7 days we into it and then I kind of replied today. So
Yeah,
yeah.
it's better
No,
late than,
I'm
than
not
never.
busy by the way. I'm never busy.
It's better late than never, man. So,
Yeah, I hear you,
yes,
man. I
guys,
hear you.
thanks again, Anil. Thank
All
you.
right.
His information
Thank you
is
for
on the
having me.
screen there. The video will remain on the pages for you guys to go back in and see if you got the questions about oil. He just answered that. Synthetic, the winter stuff, tires. Get your tires changed. Remember, Lolita also mentioned 5% discount here in Ontario, Canada. So the hit up Anil, the Great Canadian Oil Change at 1303 Kennedy Road. Phone number 416-757-7817. All right, Anil, have a good night with your family,
Uh,
brother. Take care.
and have a good night as well, boys.
Yeah,
Have a good
yeah,
night, everyone. Take care.
yeah.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye, guys. Take care until next week, Tuesday.